We are live. Hello, Ash.
Hello, Pete, and hello to everyone out there. We're super excited to have you here today, and welcome to Schoolscape Edtech virtual event for 2022.
And the aim of today is to get really practical and show you solutions that can help you in your class. And we thought, what better than to have a co-host?
Yes, awesome.
So on that note, we're going to invite Lerato onto stage. So Lerato is a person who brings us immense joy. She is an EdTech implementer at St. Stithians. And anytime we do an event, we try pull her in just because she brings joy and life. And she's going to be helping us co-host the session.
She also just makes these sessions way more relevant for you, the school thing. The only time Pete and I have spent in a school is when we were at school, and well, now with our kids. So
we're not good.
So we know your heartaches, but to make this way more relevant, we have brought Lerato on stage with us. And hello, Lerato, so good to have you here.
Hello, amazing people. I am super excited. And I'm actually, while you were saying that, actually, I'm glad that we have teachers like us now and the teachers that are watching and engaging with us.
That is so true. So I think, Lerato, from your side, what are you excited about for this event? What are you looking forward to?
Teacher speakers, all the speakers that are teachers that are going to be sharing what they do in their classroom. I mean, as a EdTech leader, I also believe that I'm continuously learning, and there's nothing I love more than learning from amazing teachers who actually implement these in their classrooms. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Brilliant. Just a couple of quick practical things. On the right is a chat bar. There is nothing worse than presenting and not having people chatting. So please do chat, ask questions, make comments, highlight things that stand out. And in fact, the best comment of today is going to get a 1,000 Rand Take-A-Lot voucher from
SonicWall. So SonicWall had kindly given us another 10,000 Rand Take-A-Lot vouchers. So we're going to be giving them out sporadically through the event. But yeah, I mean, we are going to hear a little bit later from Mohamed from SonicWall about keeping our teachers safe. So this is a session, obviously this transpires to keeping kids safe, but a lot about it is actually keeping you safe from cyber predators. What do we call them in your classrooms? And dodgy people. Right. But yeah, super excited about and thankful to SonicWall for the vouchers.
Yeah, so those are going to come on. I see we have Blessing is on stage with us. Blessing, you're going to have to wait one more minute before Lerato intros you. So best comment of the day, we are going to give away that 1,000 Rand Take-A-Lot voucher. What we are also going to do, which I'm quite excited about, is we're going to ask a question to see, just to get people used to the chat bar.
Yep. So, you know, to get our broader team that you guys cannot see here just loosened up and brains working, I started just now with a question and fun fact. So we're going to give you the fun fact as well later. But the question is, per person on this planet, how many ants are there? So how many ants per a person? Right. The person that can guess this, what do they win?
They win a soundbar from Parrot.
They win a soundbar from Parrot. So I want to see in the chat bar, say, hi, you're from so, and you think that per a person in the world, there is 14 ants per person.
Maybe a little bit more.
Maybe a little bit more.
All right. So please pop it in and go wild to think out crazy numbers. Come on, someone in the chat bar. Put in how many ants you think. And while you're doing that,
Lerato, numbers are coming in.
Oh my gosh, so many people read the same email I got today.
And a lot of people have been Googling. We see that. Well said, Junaid said that. All right, Lerato, while that's happening, would you like to intro our first speaker for today?
I am excited and would absolutely love to introduce Blessing. Everybody, please welcome the amazing Blessing, a teacher, which makes it more exciting and so much more relatable to all of us because he's in the classroom. Blessing is from Hillcrest School in Zimbabwe and in Mutare, Zimbabwe, and it's one of the top schools in Zimbabwe, and Blessing is just doing amazing things. Today, Blessing is going to be showcasing EdPuzzle. Now, Blessing, I love EdPuzzle, and I can't wait for you to share with others who haven't played around with it. So anything that keeps our students engaged and is exciting for teachers is always a great app. So everybody, please give a virtual round of applause for Blessing and take it over, Blessing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lerato, and thanks very much to Pete and the Schoolscape team for allowing me to be part of this timely and impactful virtual event. So I really appreciate everything that you're doing, and hopefully you'll find this presentation insightful, and it will probably hopefully add to the student or learner engagement in your class. So a little bit of background about myself. So I'm nestled in the eastern highlands of Zimbabwe in a small town called Mutare. So I do work for a private school, and typical of many educators, I fulfill quite a number of roles in the school. So I'm also like a schools chaplain. I'm a sports coach, but I do have the opportunity to be in the classroom and to engage with learners. So I'd like to share a little story with you. So a couple of years back, literally 2 years ago, when the entire world was under lockdown, I came across an application called EdPuzzle. I do love indulging in educational technology, and it fascinates me how technology can just take learning to a greater level. And also it makes our jobs easier as teachers. So as I meddled through my computer, I then came across EdPuzzle. And so I'm going to share a little bit about EdPuzzle, and hopefully also demonstrate how EdPuzzle works, and hopefully you'll be able to adapt it into your classroom situation as well. Okay, so what really is EdPuzzle? I'm going to take you guys, I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see a little bit as I answer two primary questions. One, what is EdPuzzle? And number two, how does it work? So just give me a moment as I share my screen with you guys.
Okay. Hey, Blessing, you're just going to need to unmute yourself and turn your video on. I see it's turned your video off. Can you get that? Oh, Blessing, we can't hear you at the moment. Did you share screen and tick that audio button at the bottom? Share audio. Not share audio, sorry. Untick the bottom when you shared screen. You might need to do it again. So, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for technical difficulties. I'm going to jump on just while we get Blessing sorted. The joys of virtual events is this kind of stuff. We always have these challenges. Okay, so Blessing, if you could stop share and then share again. Before you share tab and untick the audio button. Can you hear us now, Blessing? Blessing, you're still muted. Oh, there we go. We can right, to say something so we can check you are working. So,
okay, right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, online problems.
Yeah, we got you. So, so Blessing, when you share screen, go share a tab, and then just make sure you've unticked the YouTube. So just make sure the bottom, it's not on the bottom left. Can you see it?
Okay, got it. Got it.
Technical support. I think all the EdTech implementers and IT managers out there are having a good laugh at me at the moment. And you all know the feeling. So we'll be gracious, Blessing. Boom, we've got you. And we can hear you and we can see you and your slide. Got you.
Perfect. Okay. Lovely. Thanks very much for your patience. And yeah, I guess these are the joys of using technology. Okay, so why videos? I'm going to share from a couple of sources that EdPuzzle used just to explain about videos, but they basically say that 65% of pupils are visual learners and upwards of 95% of learners use YouTube. Personally, I gravitate to this sort of learning type of learning. I'm generally always on YouTube. Whether I'm listening to something or watching something, I love to take in information that way. So because of the statistics, this makes something or a platform like this very relevant. So how does it work? Okay, so this is a platform that can be integrated to your learner management system. For example, in our school, we use Google Classroom. There are obviously a lot of other learner management systems. But when you find out a little bit more about EdPuzzle, if you go into their About section on their website, it gives quite a number or a range of other learner management systems that you can utilize or integrated with. Okay, so there are basically 2 or 3 options that you have. Once you have managed to sign yourself up, signing up is pretty simple. It's going to ask for your email address and just a few details, what you do, whether you teach, and at what level. The joy about EdPuzzle is that it's like a library of videos. So there's a number of things that you can actually do with this video. So I'm just going to explain that. So number 1, once you've logged in, you've opened an account, you have options to either use other people's content or content that's already been created, or you can create your own content. So for example, you can actually go onto YouTube. So we're just going to have a quick view of a video that I've selected from YouTube, and essentially you are able to
Hey, Blessing, just so you know, sorry, with all of the technical difficulties, we can't hear the audio from what you're playing. So you might need to lip sync it for us.
All right. Okay, perfect. All right. So this is just really an illustration. Don't worry too much about what the audio, but it's just an illustration that you can take something from YouTube and you can actually use it in EdPuzzle. The second option is, so you've got this YouTube video that we have on screen. Now, what other people have done, what other content creators have done is they've taken the same YouTube video, okay? And what they've then done is they've gone on to create lessons. So the great thing about this is that you can actually embed questions in the actual video. So a simple YouTube video that we saw, now I'm going to show you an example of one that's got embedded questions. We'll just go through maybe just the one question so that you can see how it works. So this is the joy of it, is that either you can create your own content or you can actually use ready-made content. So the same video, but done by somebody else. Let's just see how that works. I'm just going to push it a little further so we get to the questions. Okay, so then what does happen is that it stops, and what you have in the right section here is a question that pops up. So what you are able to do is you're able to embed questions, and I'll show you an example quickly of how you can actually do that. So you're able to embed questions in a video, and you can also put a setting such that the learner is not able to move on until they've answered the video. So if you get the question right, the video then continues. However, if the question is wrong, it then offers options for the learner to rewatch just that portion so that they're able to answer a question. So for example, if you'd like to edit, so you've got tabs that you can actually utilize to edit a video. So for example, you're still able to edit even the same video. You might not be happy with the type of questions that are there. You might want to add questions or take away questions. So it gives you options to cut the video. It also gives you an option. This at the moment has not been working because of copyrights. But for example, if you do get a Premiere version, it gives you an option to put in a voice-over question. Then also you are able to put in different types of questions, multiple choice questions, open-ended questions, and if you'd like, you can actually leave a note, whether it's a note, whatever, it's really up to you and your creativity. I've just clicked on note here, so you've got the options obviously to underline, bold, and text. You've also got options to put in numbers, put in links, a URL, you can put in upload images, and even formula. Okay, so it is actually quite handy, especially if you want to, I've used it in situations where I want to give homework or prepare my pupils for an upcoming concept or a new concept. And so I give them a portion, a video to watch and embed questions, and they do it overnight. So the great thing is, once you've finished creating your content or choosing a video, whether it's on YouTube or it's someone else's video, you can actually then assign the video to your Google Classroom or whatever learner management system that you use. So for example, I've got an upper sixth or sixth form life skills class. I then assign it to that class. And once you've gone on to Google or into the classroom, you can then either schedule it or use the Google Classroom options as you feel best. So this is basically how your EdPuzzle works. The idea is really utilizing videos so that you can enhance the learner experience, and it appeals especially to those who are more inclined to the visual learning style. What I found absolutely fascinating about this is that there are quite a number of topics that you can actually go through. It's also taken into consideration the different learners, the different learning stages, the different levels. So you have things for people who are in the primary school to people who are in the high school, K-12, all the different levels are actually catered for. And, you know, even if you have an adult learning class, there are videos that actually pertain to adult learning as well. So this is basically how EdPuzzle works. Like I said, it's very easy and simple to use. I think you don't have to be extremely tech savvy to use EdPuzzle. It's for free. You can just basically sign in using your email account, any email account, whether it's Gmail account, and it can be linked to your school's learner management system.
Blessing, that was phenomenal. That was, yeah, absolutely game-changing tech. Lerato, if you want to pop onto stage as well. Blessing, the question came through. I just wanted to ask, can you download the video? Someone was asking, are you able to download the video and then create from there by uploading the video?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have something that's not in the EdPuzzle library, for example, so you can download something from another space. It might not necessarily be YouTube, and then you can then upload it into the library. So probably an option I didn't explain upon is the library. So within EdPuzzle, you can actually have your own content. So whatever you're using, it's got a space for your library. So if you record yourself or record a class, you're able to upload those videos into your library and utilize them.
That is epic. Blessing, thank you. Lerato, some of your thoughts.
Thank you, Blessing. I'm just blown away because I absolutely love EdTech. And I see on the chat, a lot of teachers are like, oh, this is amazing. I haven't heard of it. Guys, it is extremely engaging. And I know, Blessing, you could go on and on about it because there is so many amazing features. Yeah. So what I always say to teachers is play. Play. Blessing has shared this amazing platform. And now all we got to do is go back and play, and you'll see how it works for your space and your learners. And Blessing, it has helped me, especially with the younger learners, getting rid of the ads. And I mean, I'm going to put my hand up, but I know a lot of us do not like those very creepy YouTube ads that we get sometimes. So that's a big feature. And I saw Marcia was talking about that with Ilonka. So it is an amazing, amazing platform for such things. Thank you, Blessing.
All right, my pleasure.
Sadly, Blessing, that's all the time we had for you. I had one or two people in the office going, oh, I could listen to this guy for forever. I wish you were my teacher as a kid, as the chaplain and everything. Yeah, so Blessing, thank you. We appreciate you coming in as our first teacher and sharing something so practical and real. And I think, Lerato, I think the challenge for all the teachers out there is to go try it tomorrow and see if it works.
Yes, yes. Play, guys. Play.
Play. All right, Blessing, we're going to drop you off stage. And Lerato, interestingly enough, we have a challenge for, oh, where's Lerato gone?
Yeah,
she'll come back soon. You're back. Lerato, we actually have a challenge for tomorrow that in our schedule, we actually have a gap for a 10-minute session that a speaker couldn't fill. So we've got a gap for someone in our audience to share for 10 minutes live on a tool that they use in their class. So, Lerato, I'm going to ask, and maybe you can give the first nomination of a tool. What free tool do you use in your class that you think you could demo? So this is going to be bold because someone's going to need to say it. So hopefully this doesn't backfire on us. So, Lerato, if you had to position any free tool, what would it be?
Oh, the first thing that came to mind was Kahoot. I absolutely love Kahoot. I mean, I've taught using it with a grade 0 child, grade 3, and a grade 8 child, and it's so much engagement, and you can use it in so many of the learning platforms. So I would say my favorite is Kahoot.
Okay, so yay, at least we've got one backup. If all ours fails, Lerato will be presenting on Kahoot, but we've got quizzes from Catherine, a couple of others coming through. Please put down what you would love to see, and then we're going to ask one of you nominating the product to actually demo it for 10 minutes live. Don't worry, we'll help you do that. All right, so Lerato, that was our first speaker done. Our second speaker up, and this one I think Ashley mentioned right in the beginning. A big thing from our side is to make sure that when we're showing tech and EdTech, that our teachers and learners are safe. The amount of cyber threats and risks and stuff out there is just immense. So I'm going to ask Mohamed to come on stage. So Mohamed is coming in from Dubai. So we've jumped from Zim. Now we're heading through to Dubai. He is from SonicWall, who's actually our event sponsor. He actually spoke at our in-person events and was just brilliant in explaining what is out there and the risks and how to mitigate those risks, because we want to be able to show you tech that you can use freely. So, Mohamed, welcome on stage. It is absolutely fantastic to have you here.
Thank you, Pete, and thank you for having me again. I mean, it was a great experience a month back, and meeting face-to-face teachers and IT experts within the school. And I'm very happy to be back again with you today.
Brilliant. So, Mohamed, the floor is yours. Over to you. I'm looking forward to hearing what you're going to be sharing with us.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Can we put the slides on? Yes, please.
Yep.
Thanks.
They are coming up now.
Thanks for having me. I mean, a quick introduction. My name is Mohamed Abdallah. I'm a region director for SonicWall, Middle East, Turkey, and Africa. Actually, quick correction. I'm not in Dubai right now. Actually, I'm on business trip in one of the countries in the region. And actually, I'm talking to other education team from the education sector. Just quick thing to share. 2 days back, I had a meeting with one of the biggest CERT across the region here. and we were just discussing the strategy of risk and cybersecurity, and you'll not believe it, #1 in their list, it was about education, how we can secure our kids, the school assets, as well as our teachers. If we move to the next slide, please. Good. So to start with, I mean, long time back, there was traditional education, which is the normal in-class type of education. We have our books, our homework, teachers using normal boards, and life was easy. Next, please. So all we were thinking about at that time is physical security, how within the school premises itself or outside of the school premises, how we can physically secure our kids. Now, next, please. With the modern education, we started to see more and more online education. We start to see more and more system introduced to education sectors, tablet, PCs, etc. Next, please. So that's, I mean, modern education, it's introduced lots of endpoint, or we call it explosion entries. Either it's printers, LMS systems, cloud education systems, laptops, phones, tablets, etc. And that's introduced a different type of risk. Next, please. That's introduced different type of risks. Now it's more about cyber. It's not any more physical. And this introduced even more and more type of attacks. Next, please. So we started to see lots of attacks that's happening on endpoint itself. Either it's your interactive screen, your laptop, your mobile, web services, if you're doing e-learning. And the number of explosion points, I would say it didn't grow even 2-digit or 3-digit. It's even beyond that, big time. Next, please. So what we are observing, or the reality that we're seeing in the market now, the risk is escalating. I mean, the explosion points, because we introduced lots of devices and systems and application, it's going up. Next. The cost of maintaining our current infrastructure, it's going very high. Next, please. At the same time, we have limited budget and we have limited resources, okay? And that's, next, please. And that's what it's introduced something, it's a terminology that everyone is using right now. It's called the cybersecurity school gap, okay? Next, please. Quickly, to give you an idea about the risk that we are seeing. These numbers are showing the type of different attacks, okay? And we're talking about, it's a 6 months timeline. So we see an increase of more than 150 and 160, and some cases it's even 200 now. When I was presenting in the physical Schoolscape event in Johannesburg, I did ask a question on a stage about the growth of a certain type of attacks. And at that time, a lady, or actually it's one of the teachers, she said 200%. At that time, I told her if we reach 200%, we should close the schools, okay? And the actual number at that time, it was 145. Guess what? I'm sorry, you're true. Now we see that the growth in type of attacks, it's going 200 and even more. Okay, so even me in the last 15 years working in the cybersecurity, I was not expecting that that's going to happen. But now in the less than a month or a month and a half, we see this happening. Okay, next, please. Good. Someone will ask me, okay, this is global data, but we are not impacted. Guess what? No, we are. If you check here, Africa or South Africa, it's one of the top countries worldwide that they are under of a type called ransomware. It's type of attack, which is actually hijack your system and data. And it keep growing. These numbers were just primarily 6 months back or even a little bit more, and we see more and more happening around us. Next, please. Okay, so how we can help? SonicWall, we have been more than 32 years in the cybersecurity field. We have a specialized line practice for education, either it's K-13 or it's even higher education, we can help our customers on, I mean, when I say our customers, actually our kids and our teachers, on how we can protect their assets within the school, and even if they go beyond this. And we have different type of solutions that cover end-to-end protection. Next, please. How we do this, so we have a global footprint. We're presenting more than 215 countries and territory, and that's helped us on sharing more and more insights about what's going on. We have a very specific industry veteran team. So we have, when we talk to our customers or the teachers or the students from an education perspective, we have the knowledge and know how to do this. We can protect you 360 degree. It's end-to-end solution. And on top of that, we even go beyond that and we develop new type of technologies that can predict and can secure you more and more. Okay, next please. Is this something new? Definitely no. We already have the solution. It's certified, it's implemented in schools, and a lot of the schools have been using this, and they're seeing the difference, how they're protecting themselves. Next please. Yeah, we can go till we upload the whole pictures, please. So this is a sample of some of the schools, and I'm very proud that these schools are in South Africa and Africa, where they already implemented our solution, and they have a little bit peace of mind that their data and the kids' data are very protected. Okay. With that, thank you very much for having me. Just one last comment. I just want to emphasize on Lerato's statement at the beginning. What's making her interesting? It's talking to people. Last physical event, I had the pleasure to talk to a lot of people, and as Lerato mentioned, we learn from each other. It's good that we talk to each other, learn expertise from each other, and more importantly, as a teacher as well, you need to talk to the kids, give them the awareness and the knowledge transfer about the risk that we're seeing in these days. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, Mohamed. I think some of those stats are really scary. I've seen some great kind of comments where it just says here, not realizing how important this topic was. So thank you. It's also great to see my kids' school is one of your showcase schools at Renish Primary, and I feel very safe knowing that they're on your hands. And I think one thing I need to say, and Mohamed, maybe you can reaffirm this. I think often schools think it's not going to happen to me. But I think you'll be able to share from your side that how often kind of schools are actually being hit with ransomware and these different things. And is that something that you are seeing that the schools are being hit with in South Africa?
Absolutely. I mean, we see the rate of the attacks that's happening, especially on the education sector. It's very high, and especially on the schools, not even the higher education. And that because it's the fact, it's the weak point. It's kids, they don't understand the risk, okay? Teacher, they have a bigger goal. It's building our kids' knowledge and brains and heart, etc. So they don't understand the risk that may happen. And that's a very easy way for a hacker to, as an entry point for that. I'll be very frank. I mean, it's happened in Africa, it's happened everywhere. Whenever I talk to education, they think that that's not going to reach up till it happened, and then they start thinking how I can protect. And that's why, I mean, I was referring that it's an end-to-end. You need to have the different layers to protect everything that you're having, because the minute you close a gap, the hacker will look for another one to penetrate.
Yeah. And I think, Mohamed, what you're saying is completely right. Like, I know, for example, being based, and I know we've got international schools watching as well, but being based in South Africa and in the Wynlands area, I know a school down the road, that interactive screen, full-blown adult content on the screen, and the teacher didn't know what to do because it wasn't blocked, and it impacted a whole pile of grade 2 kids quite heavily. I know another school further down the road, and they were locked out of all of their systems with a ransomware attack. And I think what you said is so right. often as a school, you wait till it's too late, till something happens before you act. So we want to be able to show schools EdTech, and we want to be able to say, embrace the power of technology, but just make sure you've got that foundation in place. So on that note, sorry, Mohamed, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I share this. It happened with my kids' schools. I mean, in the old school, similar things, interactive screen, and even from the interactive screen, they were being able to reach out to their iPad, appropriate content that was there. I mean, the school at that time, they shut down for, I think, for a full month, if I remember correctly, just to revamp on their infrastructure and the security to make sure that this is not happening again. So actually, if I have another 30 minutes, I mean, I moved my kids to a new school this year. And I was on the first day, was talking to the principal, and I shared with him the experience. He said, yeah, we have a good security system over there. Then we started discussing more and more. But I told him, by the way, I see a gap in that specific application, that it's heavily used by actually teachers and parents, not the kids. And I think you need to start looking on that. And immediately he called the IT guy. They started to investigate, and they found, yeah, that's a weak point, and it might be an issue. He asked if he can help. Immediately, we had them with a trial license to block these things. And guess what? I cannot share the application name but it went in public that this application, there was a root that happened in the US, okay? And it has been vital on that. And then actually, he's a friend now, so I text him and I tell him, this is what happened. It's good that you take the immediate action. So it's a learning curve. We need to keep learning, and we need to keep protecting our kids.
All right, Mohamed, thank you. That's been absolutely amazing. We have a poll. In the poll, it literally says, would you like the team from SonicWall to contact you and your school just to share a little bit more of info about what they can do, maybe do a threat report and an assessment on your school to see your needs, and just to spice it up a little bit to make it a bit more fun. If you enter that poll, and you can either say yes, share my details, or you can say no if you feel your school is safe. Either way, if you enter that poll, you can win a 1,000 Rand Take-A-Lot voucher for you from the team at SonicWall is going to give you that, so that you get to spend it on you, not on the school, but for your personal use. So Mohamed, thank you. You've been absolutely amazing. Also, just a big thank you from the Schoolscape side. We can run events and we can keep them free for schools because of your partnership and support. So for us, it's like that Albany best of both bread. The best is that you talk about really important stuff, and on top of that, you sponsor and make things so that it's free for our schools. So from our side, thank you for securing our schools, and thank you for looking after them, and thank you for our sponsorship. So we appreciate your time.
It's always an honor. Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant. We're going to drop you off, and we're going to invite Lerato on stage. Lerato is going to be introducing our next speaker, who's going to be taking us a whiz through quite a few things, which I'm excited about. So Lerato, are you out there? While we are finding Lerato, who is hiding somewhere in cyberspace, we have a winner for how many ants there are per person. And I stand under correction, but quite a few people, I think, Googled and got it right. And some of them might have got the same email we got, that Ashley got this morning. And that is, there is a massive 2.5 million ants per person. And they estimate that there's 25 quadrillion, I don't even know what that is, but quadrillion ants in the world. And the winner for that is Samiga Joseph. You get to win our soundbar. Well done. All right, Lerato, I see we have found you. Who is next on stage?
We have the amazing Karen Walstra. And I just want to say she's one of the teachers that I wish I had when I was in school. Karen is full of energy, and she is one of the people that I still learn from, love engaging with, love listening to, and she's such an inspiration. I mean, when it comes to AI, robotics, I'm actually going to get Karen to come visit us here at St. Stithians. So, Karen, I'm going to hand it over to you. And like I said, guys, she's the one teacher that we all wish we had in the classroom, dynamic and full of energy. Welcome, Karen.
Hi. Karen, over to you. We're looking forward to your session.
Thanks. I'm just going to share my screen. So, hello, everybody. I'm looking forward to sharing this afternoon with you. Just want to confirm that you can see my screen, please. Can you tell me if you can see my screen?
You are, yeah, 100%. You are showing, you are clear technology to inspire classroom transformation.
So I really love a whole lot of tech. So for those of you who know me, know that I just love technology. I've asked the team to put a PDF of this presentation in the chat. So you've got the hyperlinks to go and play with today, because the chat's really short, but there's a whole lot of cool things I think that you could go and play in. So how can we change our classrooms? What are the kinds of things that we can do? Well, our world is changing. We talk about all these kinds of things that we want our children to be. We want them to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. We want them to collaborate and use information and be innovators. For me, that's really important. And embedding our technology into the way we teach is vital. It's not just an add-on on top. It must be part of the lesson when we really engaging with our learners. And there's so much new technology out there, and there's so many tools. So today, we're just going to look at 3. So the first one I want us to look at is artificial intelligence, and look at it from an AI-enabled adaptive learning point of view. And then we're going to quickly hop into sensory generator technologies, and we're going to look at extended reality, so XR. And then thirdly, we're looking at datafication and what that means in terms of data analysis and personalized learning. So let's begin with artificial intelligence. So what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is the development of computer systems to be able to perform tasks normally required in human intelligence. So for example, visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, and a whole lot of different things. And artificial intelligence is growing exponentially in terms of the things that it can do in terms of how we engage with it and applications and websites that run on it. So for example, if you use Google Photos, you can use the photos to, you can teach the photos who the people are, and then actually get them to find those people. For me, that's the best thing when you're wanting to make birthday cards. The next thing is using just Google tools. So you've got the AI that uses the speech search, but that little block on the side is Google Lens. Go and play with Google Lens. A couple of weekends ago, we were away for the weekend, and the house that we were in had amazing artwork. And we were using Google Lens to go and find the artwork and verify that some of the artwork we were looking at was originals or whether it was just copies. It was fantastic. Go and play with Google Lens in your lessons. It's really fun. Another tool that I love from an AI point of view is auto draw. So what you do in terms of auto draw is you draw with your mouse or your stylus, like that little flower. And then you can see at the top of the picture, there's a range of different images that the AI is trying to work out, what is this Google really, a doodle really that you've created? And you then click on it and it brings it down as an image, and then you can carry on editing it. Auto draw is just lovely. If you've never played in machine learning, go and look at Teachable Machine by Google. Here you are teaching the children about machine learning. The children can actually teach the computers either to recognize an image or recognize a sound or even a pose. So the children actually then understand the process that you're going through in terms of teaching a computer to understand it. And then they'll get the reaction of what they've created will be remembered. So Teachable Machine is another great tool to teach children how AI works and how machine learning works. But for me, one of the apps that I just love and think we should all be using is called Read Along. Read Along is an app for little children. There are a range of books within the space, lots of them written by African authors. And what this app is different is that the AI listens to the child reading. Generally, if you think about apps, the children actually go into the app and they will listen to it, or they will read to it and get no reaction. Here they read and the app listens and reacts. So it'll say, well done. Or if the child is struggling, it'll help them say the word. It keeps a record of how long they're reading, and it asks you to read for about 10 minutes a day. A really great app. Go and have a look at Read Along. A second thing that I want to speak about is sensory generated technology. So if we talk about extended reality, so that's XR. So what does this mean? XR is a new terminology where we're looking at virtual reality and augmented reality and mixed reality and things that are still going to be created within the space. So it's just a new word that's combining all of these things together, where we have some form of immersion, whether it's fully immersed or whether it's partial immersion. So for me, an app that I love in terms of AR is GeoGebra. GeoGebra AR is just incredible. Just look how beautiful these mathematical calculations are. So you can see the calculations at the bottom and look at the pictures. We should be using this to show the children that maths is actually more than just two-dimensional and on a piece of paper. So go and play in GeoGebra AR. If you are teaching algebra with your students, go in and actually get them to be creating these kinds of formulas and equations on the app to see what they are actually writing about. For me, it's just incredible. Another tool to play with is Google's 3D Animals. It's just within the Google app. So you go in and you search for animals and objects and you look for 3D kind of versions. So there are insects that you can explore. Some of them are in Google Arts and Culture, but they also just come up in Animals 3D. There are a range of different animals, but the cool thing is that it puts it within the space. Just look at the shark around this person's house. So go and play with augmented reality with Google's 3D Animals. Quick, easy, and really just a fun way to expose children to augmented reality. The last thing that I want to quickly speak about is datafication. So for me, datafication is really important. We're collecting data from all aspects all the time. We're living in a data-driven world, but as teachers, we don't actually use our data enough that's around us. So first of all, just use the data that's within your Google Forms or your Microsoft surveys. Pull that data in, look at the spreadsheets and really understand it. Use the graphs to give instant feedback to your students to know whether you need to teach the information again or whether you should reteach or carry on. For me, using the data is really important and so different to if we're just using paper-based. The next thing is looking for applications where you can be really using the data. So again, this is just on a spreadsheet, and this is a Google template. And here you can see your progress of your students. So taking a summary of your marks, it gives you an average of how your students are coping. It gives you your grade distribution. And then it gives you how your students are working according to the different tasks that you've set them. But the other thing that you can do is each child you can see separately. So this is great for reporting to heads of department or to leadership to say, this is what I've done and look how my kids are going. But it's also fantastic if you're having a parents' evening, you can open up the individual sheets and you can show parents how the children are progressing. It's also great for one-on-ones with your children to speak to them about how they are progressing. But a tool I just want to quickly mention is one from Purple Mash. So also about data. So for those of you who know me, you'll know that I love Purple Mash's tools. And for me, Data Detectives is a new tool that they've just launched and really, really important. So here you've got a range of different applications in terms of how you can actually get the data as a child and go and explore it. And what you do then is you go in and you get the children to think about how they're analyzing it, how they can create graphs, and how they can actually use the data from a range of different concepts. So here's an example of a data set. It's aliens who are going to be taking part in an Olympics in South Africa. And there are various tasks that the children are set to sort the data, to pull out information in a really fun way. So if you want more info about this, hop into the Purple Mash booth and tell them about and ask them. But for me, telling children or getting children to understand data from a really young age is very important. So for me, the technology we use in our classrooms isn't there to impress. It's the experience that we want to create for our children, that it's meaningful learning that we're doing. So for me, I hope I've given you some ideas. I would really love for you to go and play with at least one of these and perhaps message me and tell me how it's gone, but have fun with your teaching. Just enjoy. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing. And I don't know how many of you have played with the Google 3D animals, but it's such a nice topic. I saw Ilonka also added a nice idea, and it's such a nice inquiry-based learning topic where in a lesson, actually the grade 3s don't know, but we have a few animals visiting girls prep next week for their lesson. So what I did is they were talking about pets and how some of them are not allowed pets. And I asked them, well, if you were allowed a pet, what would that be? So Ilonka, that was similar to yours, because my daughter started this because she really wants a dog. I was like, honey, nah, that ain't happening. So actually they'll all just get a virtual dog and you'll be surprised.
Why not get a shark?
I'm actually thinking now I'm going to take some of Ilonka's ideas, Karen's ideas, and we might just take this topic on a bigger thing, on a bigger scene. So everybody, please go play with the Google 3D and Purple Mash and all those other amazing things Karen has mentioned. They are really, really amazing. The main word for today, Peter, play. All these teachers need to play.
That's the best way we learn.
Karen, let me ask a question for you. If no one has played with any of the tools you've mentioned, which is the one you think they should start with? Which is an easy one that tomorrow they can use in their classroom?
Well, in their classroom, I think that you could start off by using the 3D animals. But I also think we've got to play personally, because if we don't play personally, we don't explore. And for me, that's where Google Photos is amazing, where you start teaching your photos who your people are, and you start putting them together. And if you start doing that with your children at school, then when you're wanting to send information to parents about the kids, you pull up the kid's name and all their photos come up, and you can quickly send that info to the parents.
That is amazing. Tell me just practically, if I want to go start playing with those sharks in my garage, how do I get that? What do I download or do?
You just hop into Google. So just in the Google tool, and you type in 3D animals or 3D shark. And if it's animated, it'll have the little lens kind of thing next to it. And then you'll know that that's a 3D one, and you can hop in and it becomes an augment.
Brilliant. All right. So Karen, sadly, that's all the time we have, but you managed to go through a lot. We have shared Karen's presentation in the chat bar. There's a link to the Drive folder. So if you missed something or you want to see something, please jump in. Literally, I think you could take a solution a week and go through them and implement them in your class. Lerato, any last comments on Karen's session before we intro our next speaker?
Well, I'm actually in the chat session right now, and I'm loving everybody's interaction with Karen's thing. And I must say, everybody's thanking you for sharing your knowledge, actually, Karen. So that actually means a lot to a lot of teachers. And I know after this, they're all going to go home and play. And to those telling me to get my daughter a real dog, let's go. Let's see how she keeps the virtual one alive first. Thank you so much, Karen, and we all appreciate you sharing.
Thanks,
Brilliant.
everyone.
Karen, we're going to drop you off stage and we're going to invite Jasmine on stage. So Jasmine Line is from ASUS. And as much as we wanted to show a bit of EdTech, we also wanted to show a bit of cool hardware. So ASUS has been one of our incredible partners, and they've got some really cool tech. So we've just invited Jasmine just to come and share a couple of the things that they are doing and have for education. So Jasmine, over to you. Are you there? Well, I think we have lost you in cyberspace. Jasmine, you are muted, I think, and your camera's off. So there we go.
How about now?
There we go. We've got you. Jasmine,
Awesome, cool.
welcome on stage. Yeah.
Hello,
cool.
everyone. Good afternoon. Cool. Thanks for the introduction bit. So hi everyone, and my name is Jasmine. So I'm the country head of ASUS South African office, and today I'm gonna share with you guys some to give you some introduction about the ASUS product and who is ASUS, because I think ASUS in education not very well known yet. But actually, ASUS is a brand has been well established since 1989. So in many of the developed countries, like in Europe, we actually holding the #1 position strongly in the consumer market, like in France, Hungary, Turkey, Ukraine, all these big countries. And also the most exciting things in South Africa, we also have a very quick growth in the last 3 years. It becomes the top 2, top 1 brands consistently in the last 3 years. So like how we can have so much of growth, because actually we already have a good name out in the other countries. Also we create very reliable products. Our brand is not only recognized by ourselves, it's actually recognized by a lot of third party. You can see here, there's a lot of international media recognize ASUS product quality, design, and innovative technology. So one of our key slogan is "In search of incredible." How it makes us incredible is we have over 15,500 employees all over the world, and we also generate big amount of revenue. The most important things, and also to our education's partners and customers, is we have more than 1,300 of support centers to give you peace of mind to use the ASUS device. And also whenever you have any kind of problems, you can easily find a solution, find people to resolve the problem for you. So first thing, of course, is the product quality. All of our education device has been all passed with the United States military grade test. It's more than 15 different kind of tests in terms of drop tests, like temperature, the water spilled, and also the hinge test. So even that, because especially in the school space, kids may drop the laptops, or sometimes they jump on the laptops even. So the durability is really important. Most important things in terms of support inside of South Africa, we provide on-site service support, which means that when customers have any problems on the device, we can send a technician to the place where you are to repair the product in the next business day. Apart from that, on our service, we also provide the international warranty, which means that when you're kids or when you travel to other countries, let's say in France, in UK, in Germany, or you travel to Asia, in Malaysia, China, you enjoy the international warranty covered on your device. You don't need to worry about your device is broken. You cannot do anything. Your warranty will be covered even when you travel to a different country. So we have all different kind of warranty solution, like from the 1 year up to 5 years. Depends on your needs, and we can provide different kind of service. Also for the neighboring countries around the South Africa, in Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Angola, and Mauritius, and also Madagascar, we also have a service center have been set up there. to provide you ease of mind when you travel. So what is special on the ASUS device is since the COVID happened, actually now a lot of time now, like what we are doing now, we're doing a online stream, we're doing online meeting, conference, all this kind of online virtual sections. So very important technology we build on our device is this two-ways AI noise canceling technology, which provide you a crystal clear meeting quality when you are working outside at a cafe, when you also attend a classroom, attend a meeting in your home. Maybe sometimes there's a dog barking, like a baby is crying, washing machine running, all kind of different situations. You don't need to worry with the ASUS device, because with this two-ways AI noise canceling technology, it can eliminate and reduce all the noise in the background automatically. And the best thing is also on our education device, we provide the ASUS antibacterial guard coating on the device. So it is a coating layout on the device. It can help to inhibit the growth of a bacteria almost 99.9%. Not only bacteria, also the virus. So, you know, since the COVID happened, I think the sanitizing is quite important for everyone, especially for the kids at the school, touching everywhere and go back to working on the device again. No need to worry with ASUS device. The bacteria will not grow or stay on the device. And one more thing special on the ASUS device is also this screen, the number pad that you can see here. So usually on the smaller size of a device that we have to sacrifice the physical number pad. And actually it creates a lot of inconvenience. A lot of people still used to type on the traditional, the standard number pad. So we built a number pad on the touchpad for the convenience and to give a ease of more comfort to for using scenario. And another one is this garage stylus on any of our like a flip 360-degree flip of device. We also provide this kind of a garage stylus. So for the user will not need to worry about losing the stylus pen, or they don't need to like buy a battery to use they don't need to buy the like extra battery for this stylus pen, because whenever you put the stylus pen back to your device, it will automatically start to charge to 45 minutes usage within the 15 seconds. Very quickly and very handy. You don't need to worry about losing the pen, and you don't need to find the other space to store your pen in your bag or somewhere. You can best directly store it in your device. Then the next part, actually ASUS will provide a very wide range of device. There are too many to introduce today. So basically we provide, just to give a brief introduction. So we have like the monitor device. We also provide a desktop device. There's also a laptop, and also we have a wide range of a Chromebook from the smaller size to the 15-inch device. Under different kind of a using scenario, our device is also ruggedized, which means it's very, very stable, durable, and very resistant. So ASUS actually dedicated a lot of resources to build a great product, from the motherboard to the graphic cards to a wide range of PC and also all the other brand products. We are the #1 motherboard products. Brands in the world. So basically all the other vendors, they also using the ASUS motherboard inside of their device. And we continue to create this kind of amazing product experience for the customers everywhere. So thank you. This is a very quick introduction because I know I need to move on.
Amazing.
You're welcome to leave any question. If you are interested in any of the ASUS product, please leave a message below. We have ASUS e-shops, and we also work with a lot of reliable partners in South Africa. So yeah, welcome to contact with me, and we can give you provide you a good offer. Thank you.
Jasmine, that was absolutely amazing. It was incredible to see in the comments of how many people use ASUS devices. And let me see if I can get mine up and showing. There is mine.
Oh, awesome.
So,
beautiful.
yeah.
Good
So
one.
I've been
Awesome.
Yeah, so I've been very, very happy with, and it's amazing to see how many comments there were just on the education features that you have and how powerful it is. So we have a poll. If you would like Jasmine and her team to reach out to you, please enter that poll. It's in the polls tab. And then Jasmine and their team can reach out to you and they can put you in contact with the right person. So if you would like to explore their offering and just get a feel of what they have, please click yes on the poll, and then she will be in contact with you. So Jasmine, thank you so much for being on stage. Thank you for showing us your EdTech. Super powerful.
Thanks.
All right. And then, sorry, is it just me or are we getting, is anyone else getting some feedback? I think we're right. But Jasmine, thank you so much. Lerato, you are back on stage.
Yes, I am. And I am introducing another amazing guest. First, thank you again, Jasmine. And I see a lot of, you might have a lot of people asking you for some birthday gifts. So teachers love freebies, Jasmine. They've all put it out there for you on the chat. So, and I see some of them have last got a new ASUS in varsity. So maybe you can make someone's dream come true, Jasmine.
So actually,
we got to try our luck, teachers.
Yeah, so Lerato, on that note, they have, and I think let's just give it away now. They've given us a really cool ASUS backpack for your laptop. So they've got a free backpack up for grabs. So if you do not have a backpack, say you need a backpack in the chat bar, and one of you will get a brand new backpack from ASUS. Sadly, it doesn't come with a laptop. Junaid, you were the first. Well done. You've just won yourself a new backpack from ASUS. So Junaid, well done. And you didn't win that just because you complimented my cap. I saw that one earlier. All right, Lerato, I'm going to jump off stage. I'm going to bring Nicole on stage and let you intro her.
Yes, thank you, Peter. Welcome to Nicole. Nicole has become a really good friend, and she is going to show you guys the wonderful, wonderful app Cami. And I am so excited for her to share. Nicole's actually an EdTech coach, a Google certified trainer, and I actually wish I'd known Nicole during her teaching days. But then I feel, wait a minute, it's actually better now because, you know, now we can share amazing ideas around Cami and amazing ideas of just what works in the EdTech space. And again, because Nicole was in the EdTech space, I think it does help for us teachers who are still in the space to hear from someone who's actually been in our, you know, in our space and knows what we do, knows what our needs are, and nobody can articulate it better than Nicole and Cami. So welcome and thank you, Nicole.
Thank you so much, Lerato. It's a great pleasure to be here, and thank you for that warm welcome. It's lovely to see your smiley face on the screen. And a huge thank you to Pete and your team for creating another opportunity for us to connect and network and learn from one another and share with one another. It is really fantastic to be here. Thanks to those who are saying hi in the chat. I will try and answer if there are questions in the chat a little bit later. I will get there. So please do pop in questions if you want. I'm here today to tell you about Cami, and Cami is a tool that is actually quite new to South Africa, although it is the #1 digital classroom tool in the world. And I myself have implemented Cami, and I've watched it and supported other schools being implemented with Cami, and I've seen the impact. And so I really speak from experience when I say that it is a game changer, all-in-one classroom tool. And last Schoolscape, we heard from a local school, Rustenburg Girls Junior School, who spoke about the impact that it's having in their classrooms. And today we're going to hear from a junior school in Wales and a high school in California, where we are going to see Cami in the classroom and what it looks to be using Cami in our classroom. So let's take a look at those videos together.
We give our teachers these great tools. We give them document cameras, we give them interactive boards, we give them all these things. But the problem is every one of those things requires a teacher to teach from a desk or from a spot in the front of the room. And we know as teachers, that's the worst thing you can do all day long is teach from your desk.
It seems like Having Cami on my mobile device is like having my desk go wherever I am in the room. It's definitely changed the way that I teach. I think that it's just allowed me as a teacher to better interact with my students around my room. I can easily gauge what everyone's doing in the classroom because I can be there at their side, whether it's a math performance task or language arts. They can watch me annotate, highlight, make diagrams, and then they in turn are able to do some of the same things.
With a PDF and the use of Cami, I can assign a worksheet and put them on Google Classroom. And so the students were able to annotate directly on the PDF, and I was able to see their work from home. So I was able to look at their work, grade their work.
The flip of this was the engagement of students. So what we weren't counting on were these students who were shy, who are not the kind who are going to go stand in front of the class and explain how they did the math problem, right? We know that's good learning.
You know, when you've just been doing pencil and paper for so many years, that it just gets it to the next level where they feel a little bit more excited about their learning. But I feel like also it's allowing them to share their work too, because, you know, if I have a student that's worked out a problem, I can say, hey, share your device. And if they've just worked a problem out on Cami, then I can then share it to the screen up here with Chromecast, and then they're sharing what they just did and worked out, so I can then show the whole class. It almost made them become more engaged in the lesson because they wanted to be that one to solve it.
I am using way less paper because I can push basically anything out through Cami and not have to make paper copies of it.
Budgets are always huge for us. We've got 17 schools in our district. We're paying $500 to $700 a month for maintenance stuff on, and that's not counting paper. I tell principals and anybody, teachers too, is that, you know, every dollar we spend on printing is a dollar I don't get to spend on kids. So there's no reason to buy a $5,000 interactive projector. I can pay $100 for Cami, a $300 Chromebook on my arm, and I have an interactive projector, an interactive board from anywhere in the classroom.
If they're excited with what they're using, they're doing something different, they're just gonna be more engaged. And I think engagement in your lessons are huge.
I remember when smartboards were installed in our classroom, so exciting. We now had a bright surface, we could write, we could draw, and the best part, we could keep adding content without losing the old one. So amazing. And then Cami arrived. My name is Alex Campus, and I live and work in Cardiff, Wales. That's in the UK. I teach A-level physics. My students are between 16 and 18 years old, and the smartboard is the center of our learning in and out of the classroom. What Cami brings to smartboard is its simplicity, its set of features, its keyboard shortcuts, and of course, collaboration. I use Cami on the smartboard to annotate prepared resources, but also as a blank canvas to create new resources on the spot. I also use my webcam's microphone to record a clip and then add it as a voice comment. This way, the students can not only see the written work, but also play back a sound clip and hear an important part of the delivery. In addition, it allows the students to see the smartboard not only in the classroom, but also right close to them on their own device to get a better look. And of course, they can interact with it, create content their own way from it, and contribute to it. For Cami on the smartboard, I use two pieces of hardware. The first one is the smartboard pen. The second one is a presentation clicker. The pen comes with a smartboard, and the clicker you can buy for around £20 or $25. It has programmable keys, and that's where I keep Cami's shortcuts. I have programmed my keys so that I have pen and eraser, scroll up and down, zoom in and out, draw shapes or highlight, and of course, Control-Z for undo and Shift for straight lines. My clicker also has a laser pointer and it's wireless, so I can control the board from a distance while I work with students, but also to teach in front of it without need to have access to the keyboard. The common element in all types of my teaching, whether it is online, hybrid, or in person in the classroom, is Cami. All I need to do is add a bit of hardware and transform my lessons into collaborative, interactive, media-rich experiences.
That
There we
was
go.
awesome.
I hope you enjoyed seeing those schools in action. And I can see there's a lot of interaction on the chat there. Thank you. I will get to all of your comments and you can reach out to me afterwards too. Thanks.
Okay, well, everybody, I see there's a lot of questions, and I'm actually going to be asking Nicole some of those so she can give us a deeper insight and understanding of Cami. But actually, those videos have already blown us away, Nicole, so that's also exciting. If you could tell us, Nicole, can Cami be used on any device? Because online, we have schools who use Google Chromebooks, we have laptops, and we have iPads and Android devices. So can Cami be used on any device?
Yes, actually, Cami can be used on any. It's totally device agnostic. We've seen a lot of adverts for a lot of amazing, incredible tools. But even if you only have the basics to start with, Cami is your long-term school solution that can work just with one teacher device. And even with an overhead projector, you can turn a normal projected experience into a dynamic experience with your students, because you can annotate on just one device and showcase that to your whole class with a projector. So starting with the basic equipment you have, you can begin to tap into Cami, and it can grow with your infrastructure.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And then Nicole, in the first video, in the first video that you showed us, Heather has a Chromebook in her arms and said that Cami frees up the teacher to be more active, walking around the class. How do students see what the teacher's annotating on the page?
Well, Cami is not an app in the sense that you need to download it from the App Store or the Google Play Store. It's an extension. And once the teachers and the students have that extension, you can share Cami work as live documents, either for everyone to collaborate in together or for each student to have their own copy. And so as a teacher is annotating, the student will be able to see that on the page immediately. Or if the student is annotating, the teacher will be able to see and give feedback in real time too.
That's amazing. Something that came up on the chat, a lot of people are loving that they get to use less paper. So one of the questions I want to ask you is, one of the teachers said, they use way less paper and that each student in that class has but each student has a device. What if all your students don't have a device? Can you use Cami and still have paper?
So yes, like I say, you can start where you're at with Cami. So it's a long-term school solution for all your students, for all your subjects, for all your devices. Even if you just initially start by doing your administration in Cami, you can open up your content there without having to print it, fill it out, digitally sign it, and not have to scan and print. If you start with your class list, if you think about how many class lists do we print every year, just by opening your class list into Cami, you can now digitally do things with your class list. So you could tick who has brought in their homework forms, you can annotate, you can track reading fluency just from a class list.
I am clapping there. I hope a lot of teachers are also giving a thumbs up, because those are things that are just so admin driven. And then Nicole, before we run out of time, I just want to ask a few more questions. Collaboration. Cami, this is one of the really important future skills for our students that they need to practice. How can teachers and their students collaborate on Cami?
Okay, so the first thing is, yes, Cami can support collaboration quite uniquely. So you may have used a collaborative task in a different platform, but Cami is one of the only tools I know that has the principle of each person owns their annotation on a page. So you'll never have students deleting and editing one another's work accidentally or on purpose. You have a safe space. You have real-time data for teachers. You have the ability for teachers to encourage straight away by being able to see who's put what on the page. And we know for driving cooperation and encouragement, we really being able to give that feedback instantly can see a huge difference. So by sharing a Cami page, either with a live link or a QR code for our littles, which is nice and easy to get them in one place quickly, we can get onto a page and collaborate. And there are so many tools within Cami that are easy to use. You click on the tool, you click on the page, and you can add things like comments that one can reply to. You can add audio, voice typing, video, and screen cap comment right onto a page.
Oh, amazing, Nicole, especially because we do want to get a lot of our littlies using apps like Cami. And if it allows for them to use voice, because, you know, they're still learning how to type, that's always great in our books because it's also great for collaboration. One last question, Nicole, because we're running out of time. How do teachers, schools, and, you know, a whole district get Cami, and how affordable is it for us?
Okay, so this is always the burning question that people ask, especially if they've had a look at the pricing page, which is geared towards American schools. We have 35 million users all over the world. Don't look at the pricing page. I'm able to negotiate pricing for South African market. And so you can use a free version of Cami ongoing with absolutely no obligation to purchase. Or if you would like the full version that integrates with your learning management system like Microsoft Teams or Google Classroom, then you can get a special school price for South Africa for you to use the school plan for everyone in your school. So do reach out. I've put my details in the chat there, and I can support you with whatever you need in order to get set up, and professional development training at no cost.
That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Nicole. That was amazing. And a lot of people in the chat are going crazy over Cami. So you're going to be getting a lot of people contacting you. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you, Lerato. I'm going to go with your words, which is to play, play, and play. So do get into Cami and have a play. Book a call with me anytime, and we can experience it together.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Lerato, I feel like we have a prize to give away.
Ooh, love freebies.
We've got a collapsible water bottle, and Nicole, am I correct in saying a year's Cami teacher plan?
You are correct, indeed. Someone is going to win themselves a teacher plan for themselves and up to 150 students to play with Cami all year.
All right. Wow. So in the chat bar, I would like you to write why you would love to win this prize. And then, Nicole, you're going to have to choose one winner off screen who you think is most deserving. So please write why you would love to win this prize. So there we go. I see a guy's coming through. Kirsty, I love yours because it's awesome. Matthew, he's like, I want the cup. Love it. All right. So please also, if you can write in that, and further to that also, if you would like Nicole and her team to reach out to you in the poll, literally there's a poll there, and you can just tick what you're interested in, and then she will be in contact with you. So we've made it so easy for you to get hold of them, and we've also made it so easy. So keep putting down those. Nicole, we're going to drop you off, but we're going to let you choose one of the prize winners. And if you're just in the chat bar, let us know who that prize winner is. All right. Okay. So Nicole, you can drop off. You just look in the chat bar. Lerato, we are got 2 more sets of speakers. The next one I'm a little bit nervous about because somehow he always manages to rip me off live on stage with everyone. So Lerato, if you would like to introduce Matthew. Oh, Lerato's disappeared. All right, I will introduce Matthew Haynes. So Matthew Haynes is back by popular demand. I think every time we do an event, everyone always wants him to speak. So in the poll, you would have noticed earlier that he actually wrote a poll that he said, should we really be bringing Marmite back? And I think that's why we love Matthew. He always comes with some left field stuff. So Matthew, we are going to bring you on stage. So Matthew is, and I'll try to get it correctly, he's the personal ICT development head of that at Sayeti School, a real leading, incredible school. And I think we've often seen him present, and he has a way to really just make kind of sessions come alive with the realness of how he talks. And he always does also rip me off. I think we are missing him in the background, or I think he's on. Matthew, are you there? I'll take that as a no. Matthew, can you hear us? Can you see us? Lerato, I think we've lost Matthew.
I was going to say, maybe he had the same situation I had, but there are gremlins out there.
Yeah, there are definitely tech gremlins. Matthew, we're going to get you on stage shortly. Lerato, of everything you've listened to so far, what is something that has really stood out for you that you want to use in your class?
First, I want to say the chat is being my favorite because just seeing the feedback from all these amazing teachers, all the newbies, first of all, welcome. I'm seeing so many of you say you're new in tech, so that's been amazing to see. And I'm actually going to jump on the Cami wagon and I'm going to play with all of you. So I can't wait to just play with Cami and see how I can incorporate it into my EdTech lessons. So that's been my favorite. Oh, and there's Matthew.
Brilliant. Then Matthew is there. All right, Matthew, I thought I'd scared you off finally, but you are back in full force. Matthew, we're really excited for your session as you dive into the different levels of ICT for teachers. So we're going to leave it over to you. The floor is yours.
Can you see me? Can you hear me and stuff?
See you and we can hear you.
Oh, that's amazing. Because as I was about to come on, load shedding kicked in. Like it's insane. And I'm sitting here. I'm here at Eskom's Ituba power station. I'm right here, and I was literally just plugging in. It was just this plug. Oh, okay. Sorry. That's where all right. This is how I'm presenting now. So there we go. It's unfortunate that I can't see any of the chat or anything. So I have no idea if anyone can see me or if anyone can hear me. So I'm just gonna like do this thing. Okay, can I go?
Matthew, we can hear you loud and clear. We can see you. We saw you with the little candle. Thank you for putting your little candle on. Over to you.
For you, Peter. It's for you. Right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's really great to be back at Schoolscape. Once again, they've asked me to talk about something, and I put some slides down, and I'm going to talk about something. So what I am going to be talking to you guys about is the 3 levels of ICT literacy for teachers. And this is specifically looking at the various areas of ICT and then 3 different levels of skills for ICT. So maybe you will have, you're able to relate to some of this. So as a wise man once said, let us put our thinking caps on. I'm sure he said that. I don't actually know. So what I'd like to do is, and this maybe will be great for you guys, for Pete, is I've hidden some pictures of you guys in my presentation. Okay, very sneakily. And if you want to like give out a prize or something later, if someone can identify which slide one of these pictures was on, then they can get a prize. It's just an idea. Okay, so use it, don't use it, see how you go. So that means everyone's like going to be watching my presentation.
Yeah, put it in. We'll definitely come in for a prize. So whenever you see one of our pictures, if in the chat bar, you are the first person to post. When you see
they're going to say who it is.
3 photos, you'll go in for the prizes, and we'll give you a prize. And our prize giving tomorrow, we'll make sure it's something decent.
Ooh, lekker. Okay, there we go, guys. Well, let's get started. So what we're going to do is you're going to look for any one of these people, and I'm going to move on. All right, here we go. Oh, how much time do I have? Okay, wait, let's get serious. How much time do I have? 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
10 minutes.
40 minutes. Here we go. So we're going to look at your relationship with tech. We're also going to look at what kind of a user are you? Okay, and I mean like as in never mind. And then we're going to look at suggested content areas and then 3 levels of ICT proficiency. So I'm going to have to cut this down a little bit because there was a survey part, but to save time, we're going to cut it down a little bit. So here we have you. You are the teacher, and on the other side, we have all the tech. All right. And the goal is to get you and the tech to sort of marry and work together, because you're going to be using this technology with students. We are in a day and age, we're in the 21st century. We're not in the 19th century anymore. We are using technology for teaching. So we are developing relationships with our students with the use of technology as well. So what does that mean? It means we have a color changing slide and it just looks cool. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, you as a teacher have a relationship with technology. That relationship is obviously affected by a conditional dependency. So let me explain what that means. Okay, so your conditional dependency means you use technology based on what you need to use it for. I mean, you're not going to use every single device, every single skill that there is. You don't need all of that. Okay, so that means, last point there, that your skills determine your engagement with technology in your classroom. So let's have a look. What is your relationship? Now, I know I'm talking to teachers and you're all online and you're all watching this. So most of you are probably like this guy. Your relationship with technology, is it like this or is it like this? Okay, so you can see, what is your relationship with technology like? Do you identify with any of these users? Now, here are some users I'm going to show you, and you may or may not have these kind of teachers in your school. Let's have a look. Do we have the I have to do this every day user? You get those kind of people. Okay, I've seen them. I think they work at banks. Then we have the use it as little as possible user. Yes. Yes, I think I'm thinking English teachers for this one. We have the I've had enough of this user. Yeah, I've had that. And then they come and chat to me about their, I don't know. Then we have this kind of user. I mean, I don't actually know. I think that's probably a maths teacher. We have the slightly older, wiser, but older generation, the have no clue user. Okay, yeah. You've seen them. Yes, you know. And of course we have, these guys, which is painful as an ICT developer in schools and trainer. I have to, yes, but anyway, what we were going to do at this point is we were going to have a little bit of a rating competition. Well, not actually a competition, more like a survey. And you're going to just but if you want to go ahead, go ahead and look at that. And you're just going to say how good you were. But, I want to show you the pictures because they're really funny. So where are they? We've got, there they are. So, we won't actually do the thing, but how would you rate yourself in terms of your ICT, your information and communication technology abilities? How would you rate yourself? Are you that good? Are you good? Are you not that good? Or are you not good at all? All right. So everybody has some sort of level where they're at. Okay. The point of that was that everyone is at a different level. So now we already know, okay, we have different levels of abilities. But now what about the content areas? Before we look at the actual levels, what about the various content areas that we have? Well, we have, this is what I have suggested. Okay, we have ICT literacy, we have communication, we have content management, productivity software, online platforms, we have the cloud, and of course, ICT integration. And there you can see sort of how it breaks down. So ICT literacy, just basic using of a computer. Communication, do teachers know how to use email correctly, properly? Do they know how to use forms and make forms? Content management, very cool. Things like finding information, sharing information, storing that information, curating information, because curating is very different to finding and sharing. All right. Productivity software, looking at Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. Or if we move on to online platforms, where you're looking at Microsoft Teams or Google Classroom or the Google Suite. Okay. The cloud, working online, saving things online, using Google Drive or OneDrive or OneBox or Dropbox. I don't even use Dropbox. ICT integration, taking ICT skills and hardware and software, integrating them into your teaching. So we have all of these areas. So now, how do we put these all together? All right, so here it goes, guys. We have all these content areas, and now we have 3 levels per area. We have level 1, we have level 2, and I bet you know what's coming. Yes, we have the 3rd level. All right. So after these 3 levels, what do these levels represent? Here we go. So if you are level 1, I sort of put it down like this so we can sort of engage and understand it better. So if you're level 1, I put that as you're a basic level user. Okay. Basic level user. If you're a level 2, I say that's intermediate. That's an intermediate level. That's good. That's kind of where a lot of teachers really should be, really. Not postman Pat, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, intermediate. Of course, if you're level 3, like Pete Morgan and myself, you are a Jedi Master. Yes, you are. Or advanced. I mean, you can decide what you want to call yourselves. It's fine. So what do I mean by level 1? All right, level 1, very basic. So you have very limited abilities, limited skills, very minimal function, okay? Maybe the person knows how to press the button to switch on the computer and then they need help, right? That's very sad. It's a very sad place to be as a teacher, but they exist and we need to help them. Yes, we do. Or you have intermediate. That kind of looks like Ashley, I think. Is that please say Ashley? Okay. The intermediate level is workplace competency. In other words, you're competent with what you need to do using technology in your immediate situation for your job. That's good. You know more than just the basics, so you know a little bit extra. You can format things, you can move things around on a slide, woohoo, and stuff like that. It is suited for most situations. All right, so that's kind of where you want most people to be. This is the middle of the road level. And then, of course, the advanced level. This is the exciting level. Okay, this is where I like to try and bring teachers and train teachers to get to this point. So you are proficient with technology. I love the word proficient. It just sounds so good. You're proficient with technology and its integration into your subject as a whole. Okay, you are multi-skilled in various ICT areas. If someone says make a form, do a presentation, create this, do that, you're able to do it because you have those skills. All right, of course, at a level 3 you obviously need to be really good with a lightsaber if you are a Jedi, and you also grow and you develop with technology. All right, I'm assuming there are no questions at this point. Good, we're going to keep going. Now we have identified 3 levels of competency or proficiency across the various content areas. All right, so let's take a look at just a rough example of what that means. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. So let's say, for example, Microsoft Word in terms of productivity software at a level 1. If you're a teacher and you're at level 1 with Microsoft Word, you really should be able to do these things, okay? You should be able to launch the program, type text on the page. Okay, that's not hard. That's just, you do that like that maths teacher did. Yeah, you do that. And then you can change the font type. You can change the font color. You can make fonts bigger or smaller. You can insert a paragraph, hit the enter key. So it's literally, it's this, okay? That's what they do. You can, what else? You can insert a new page. It's a basic skill, but it's necessary. You can zoom in and out. Do you see what we're doing, guys? We are going very basic. Now, remember, it's not what is possible for the software. We're talking about the person and what they need to be able to do for their particular responsibility or their job or their role in their school as a teacher. So I'm looking at teachers and what they should know as a teacher. All right, not as a normal person. Teachers are normal people. We really are most of the time. But what I mean is, as a normal person, what I meant was that for their job. Oh, geez, we'll have to, okay, I'm sorry, is this live? I hope this is not. Anyway, level 2, intermediate. So Microsoft Excel as an example. If a teacher is on a level 2 as an intermediate level user, they should know how to do these things as a teacher. Now we're looking at formatting and working with functions in Excel. So they can use the autofill feature instead of typing things one at a time, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh my heaven, help us. No, autofill, people, autofill. Then they can use functions like sum, average, max, min. If these are like Greek to you, you're not a level 2, okay? I'm sorry, you got to talk to me afterwards, all right? I'll help you. Then things like printing, exporting to PDFs, using cell references instead of typing in numbers in Excel. It happens. Don't do that. Keyboard shortcuts. You can sort data in Excel. So these are skills that I've identified that I think are good as a level 2 user. Intermediate skills for Excel. Now, what about a level 3 Excel? Level 3 Excel, this is up here, guys. Okay, this is where you want to be. Right, so you can use lookup functions. Let me tell you how powerful that will be when you start analyzing the data of your students' marks and their results, or you're doing parents' meetings and you want to call up names and see their marks automatically and cool stuff like that, okay? If you're not using Cami, sorry, Nicole, you can use Excel, okay? If you don't have Cami. You can use the new XLOOKUP function, which is awesome. You can create named ranges. You can use conditional formatting. You can set your print areas. You can insert and edit your headers and footers in Excel. You can use validation drop-down lists as well. You can create tables in Excel. So if this is something like, what the heck? I didn't know you could do this in Excel. You can, and you will if you want to. All right. So I'm doing my best to stay on time here, Pete. I hope you're timing me, and I'm doing my best to stay on time. I'm really going through this for you.
You are smashing it out the park. And I've got some sad news for you. You've got 2 minutes left.
Okay, we're nearly there, guys. So you're thinking at this point, who stole my clothes and why is the stone so cold? Or you're thinking, how do I level up my skills? Well, guys, I'm just going to give you 2 places that you can go. Quickly grab a screenshot of that or just scan that with your phone. We've got the GFC Global website and we've got the learn.microsoft.com website. The GFC Global website, basically, guys, this is for level 1s, okay? If you're a level 1 or a level none, oh my word, heaven help us, go to this website and have a look. Wonderful video tutorials, wonderful tasks, really easy to get through and learn all the basics. And then move on to the Educator Center. Now, I'm not working for Microsoft, I promise, but I work with this website all the time. Excellent for professional development, just what you need. Okay, so those are the 2 sites that I want you to go to. What I do want you to do, and I've got about a minute to go, and I'm going to get this. Guys, there is a book coming out. Actually, there are 3 books coming out that I'm busy working with Cambridge University Press. My first book came out in 2019. The next 3 are coming out over the next little while. Go ahead and click on that link. Go ahead and take a photograph of that link or scan that QR code. Just register your name and your email address if you want to be notified when the first book is ready of teacher ICT skills. This is something that we are really going to be pushing for schools to look at. And if a teacher comes to the school, they say, right, you need to be on a level 2, and this is what you need to know for level 2. All right, guys, that is me. We are done. That was my presentation. I know it was a lot to take in, and I spoke so fast, but you can go back and watch this again and fast forward through the boring bits. But guys, that's me. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, Lerato, if you're there, you can also jump onto stage. I don't think there was a single boring bit in that. I enjoyed your reference of that statue looking a bit cold. That did make me giggle quite a bit. All right, so a lot of people managed to find us everywhere. In fact, I was looking intently and I even missed me. But our prize winner, can you believe it? Our prize winner is gonna win. Yenza is giving us a year platform for a high school. So the Yenza platform is for career development. It's for a high school. So I think the winner is actually at a combined school. So it includes a high. So you're going to get access to this platform. And the person who spotted it, and lots of you spotted it, is Lorcan Slubber from Eden College. So well done to you. We'll get in contact. The guys from Yenza do amazing stuff to help you develop your high school students to get them ready for the working world. Lerato, what was one thing that stood out to you from Matthew's session?
Everything. Man, Matthew, you just kept me engaged. I was looking here, look here, listen here. But I took it all in. You had me questioning myself for a minute there. Wait a minute. Where am I? Am I here? Am I here? Am I here? That was really fun. And I actually, first of all, congratulations on your book. And I can't wait for it to come out. Yes. And thank you so much for sharing. But yeah, Peter, everything stood out. Matthew's energy is always amazing. And I think I'm going to be first in line for that book, Matthew. So hint, hint.
Yeah, Matthew, I hope I get a free copy of that book. All right, Matthew, thank you so much. We're going to drop you off stage. Someone asked in the chat bar if they could snap scan you and get a bit of your energy. So you can try scan it. But to all the schools, we will let you know when that book comes out. All right, like usual at Schoolscape, we're running a little bit late. Our apologies, but we are into the last session. So I'm going to invite Alan Vesti and Normsa to jump up onto stage from Cambridge. It was actually quite cool that Matthew is working with the team from Cambridge. And so it's quite great that they're going to be up on stage. So Normsa, I'm going to hand over to you because I believe you're going to introduce Alan and share a little bit of what he does. So welcome on stage. And yeah, I think you are, Normsa, you are from Cambridge University Press, and over to you.
Thank you so much. And it's a real pleasure to have us in your studio, and would like to share a lot about coding and robotics. And we have seen the energy that's going through here. So I'm not going to waste time. Please be ready because the book is there, that digital book for ICT. it's available. You can just contact us. We'll be able to assist you with the book. And we have our details at the last part of Alan's presentation. I'm Nomsa Mhlongo, and I'm going to be doing coding and robotics. And I'm with Alan Vesti, who's going to be showing you how to go around doing coding and robotics in your school, whether you're starting it or we have already started it. The main thing is we have here our books, that is Connect books, which are from grade 1 to 3. And these books are really meant for schools to start doing coding and robotics from grade 1 to grade 3. And actually they're so comprehensive that they actually allude to they're actually the base, it's on curriculum caps. So this is good for you. If please make sure that you take heed of it, and please stay with us here. You're going to enjoy. And we've got, again, we're giving away some 1,500. Just get to, let me check here quickly, complete a questionnaire for your readiness to teach coding and robotics and stand a chance to win 1,500 on Take a Lot voucher. So go to our booth and do that, and you'll get yourself a voucher. I'm going to give over to Alan. In case you need us, we've got our details with Alan at the end of the screen. At the presentation, there will be our contact details to contact us to get the book. Alan, over to you.
Thank you, Nomsa. Right, I'm just going to try and share screen. I hope it all goes well. Great. Can you hear me okay?
Alan, yeah, we can hear you clearly. We can see your screen. We can see the note side. So if you, oh, wait. Sorry, Alan, I think we might have lost your audio. Alan, will you say something?
I'm here.
All right. Yeah, we've got you. There we go.
Okay, great stuff. Hi, everyone, and thanks very much, Nomsa. It's great to be here. So the purpose of my presentation today is just to share some insights of this new Cambridge Connect Coding and Robotics series for grades 1, 2, and 3. I do apologize for the echo and for the buzzing. The buzzing is generated because we're in load shedding at the moment. Yeah, so let me kick off. So I left Cambridge about a year ago or a year and a half ago with a bit of a dream, and that was to start up a coding and robotics center. It wasn't the most convenient time to start, obviously, during COVID and lockdown and all the rest, but finally got going, and it's actually been an amazing journey with it. So what I had as a vision was to start off doing this with 3 rules: to have future-ready content, unlimited learning, and no kid left behind. And the main ingredient, fun. It's the magic ingredient, and I've really found that as doing this has been so rewarding, just to see kids coming into the sessions, not just coming to the sessions, running to the sessions from their parents' cars to join up, and then very reluctant to leave at the end of 2 hours. And difficult to get them to take a little bit of a break. So I'm going to introduce you to a few of the kids and just some of the things that we're doing. This is quite fun. This is using a makey microcontroller, and we've connected that to some pizzas, and it was playing music, and we did it with bananas. We've done a whole lot of other things with makey, absolutely fantastic microcontroller to add to your arsenal if you haven't used that before, and just about unlimited things. At the moment, we're making Jedi swords connected to the makey, and it's registering hit points in Scratch and hit points and health points for the two players. So that's a lot of fun, and the kids are coding that and actually building the laser swords. And here's one of my learners working with Lego robotics, and I just love as he concentrates looking at how his robot is actually navigating the course. And this is a Lego Essentials robot. And you can see he frowns a little bit there as the robot didn't quite do what he wanted. But he's loving it. You know, he gets to the end of the course, And he goes back to his code after this. He goes back to it afterwards, and he makes some corrections. And here, probably one of the things I'm super proud of is I like to do this in my center. Is I gave the kids a little dust broom, and I hot glued some Lego onto it. And I said, right, see if you can make us a floor cleaning robot. You can see how the center is looking. We need the floor cleaned. And in 3 hours, they came up with this. So it's a little floor sweeping robot, and they also added on a dispenser, so it's dispensing cleaning fluid. And then they figured out a few things about it. That they figured out that the robot started to slip as the wheels are turning, and so they put little toothbrush heads on the front wheels there to brush off excess water. I thought it was amazing. You know, this went from a dust broom to a working prototype of a floor cleaning robot, and it had distance sensors operational on it and all sorts of things. Really amazing. And you know, so it's just the ingenuity that's able to come out with kits through coding and robotics. And these are primary school learners. So for the Cambridge Connect series, I thought you should meet the reviewers and testers. And you know, so I've tested out content with learners from grade, really appropriately aged learners from ages 5 to 12. And with the foundation phase ones, we've looked at the content. So these are some of the kids, and you know, foundation phase teachers would recognize the ages of kids like this. And here's a few more. You can just see the excitement and the joy of what the kids are doing and what they love. Yeah. A few more of my kids showing off gear linkages that they built, and looking at CPUs underneath the magnifying glass and all sorts of things. One of the learners there is creating circuits using foil, and a whole lot of other things on the go. And also some of my older learners. We have learners that on the left-hand side is learners that are doing that are actually a choir. So I've got an outreach program for them. They're a choir in Alex, and they come in for regular coding sessions, and they're starting to see how they can incorporate that into their music careers. And on the right is a cake making robot, similar to the floor cleaning robot, a similar challenge, hot glued some Lego onto a whisk. And see what they would come up with. A lot of fun. I wish you could see a video of that. So to kick off on coding and robotics, it's a new subject introduced by the DBE, and it really aims to prepare learners for the fourth industrial revolution. So there's 5 knowledge strands in the curriculum. There's pattern recognition and problem solving, algorithms and coding, robotic skills, internet and e-communication, and apps application skills. Underpinning all of that is something called the design engineering process and computational thinking. And I think what Cambridge has done very well with this series, which we've been reviewing extensively, is to follow what's in the curriculum and be true to that. So this is just a slide on the IDMEC investigate, design, make, evaluate, and communicate process. Right, so computational thinking skills, there's a number of skills, and so what I've tried to do in this presentation is to show where the coding and robotics fits in with all of that and which skills they cover. So coding and robotics really does talk to ICT, self-discipline, collaboration, creativity, computational thinking. And you can see how it fits in with the other subjects in the foundation phase. And what I found with coding and robotics is that it amplifies and really is the catalyst for the other subjects as well. There's so many ways that you can actually take coding and robotics and use that to amplify what's being taught in the other subjects. Notably maths, of course, but definitely languages, and certainly also in life skills. So to have a look a little bit inside the book itself, so this is from the grade 1 book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through through the different strands and show you very briefly how those strands are covered in the books, just through a few examples, and then also highlighting some of the 21st century skills that these exercises are covering. So in grade 1, we introduced to patterns, sets, bugs, debugging, and algorithms. Patterns become more complex each term. You'll see here that the books include at grade 2, you'll get practical activities using accessible materials and more advanced pattern recognition and problem-solving exercises with maths, music, and language elements even. So there's an example of language being incorporated into this. At the grade 3 level, problems are even more complex, and there are also very clear connections to the algorithms and coding and robotic strands. So here, while we're doing pattern recognition, we can see here that we're also looking at algorithmic thinking to solve problems, and that's also introducing that IDMEC process as well as we go. At the grade 3 level, we're looking here at patterns and problems again still, and there's also here in this slide, I'm just showing you how we're looking at effective and efficient solutions for learners. So what I did in my classroom was to see if we could break out something with the pattern recognition skills. And just a very simple little idea is to take some shapes, cut them out, get the learners to cut out shapes and to make their own patterns and sets. And we'll just put a small magnetic strip on the back. And if you've got a magnetic whiteboard somewhere still, you can use this, and it's a great and fun way for learners to have something interactive to use in the classroom to create their own sets and challenges for classmates to solve. And you can see, speaking to foundation phase teachers, as patterns are part of the maths subject, and in coding and robotics, it's also there. We've got a few little terms that we notice in here. We talk about sets, we talk about patterns, repeat, and debug, and bugs. Yeah. And for foundation phase teachers, it's important to let them know that coding and robotics is not going to be a totally alien subject to them. It is something that they can teach. Here, to illustrate the importance of the pattern recognition, here this is from Tanks, which is an awesome offline coding system developed by Byron Batterson and Professor John Cralin from NMU, their computer science departments. And here's a pattern which is showing a repeat. So you can see that in the code here, what is repeating 3 times is move forward, and turn right. And that will solve that, moving the tank quite elegantly around the small piece of maze there. So that's really, again, why are we looking at investigating why patterns are repeating and being able to recognize that. So looking at the algorithms and coding stream, I really like the fact that they used Scratch Junior, and it's introduced well in grade 1. In these books, what I also liked a lot about them was that there's very good support for new teachers who are not familiar with Scratch or Scratch Junior. And see, even in the back of the book, there's a very good sort of practical guide about the Scratch Junior interface, and also right through the book is very clear guidelines on how to use Scratch Junior, and step by steps, as you can see on this page here, is how to actually get through this. So the teacher's guides and learner books, as I said, have actually got great support for users, including video tutorials, step-by-step instructions, words, examples, and graphics. And here you can see quite clearly on here how the steps are laid out to make a sprite turn, and you can actually use the QR code links to make tech turn spin and work through that. So grade 1 in algorithms and coding, we're introduced to triggers, we're saving a program, planning, and creating coded stories. Here we can see the link to debugging in the patterns and problem strand. In grade 2, we explore more of Scratch Junior's code blocks, loops, looks, and backgrounds, plus the drawings tools, which link to the application skills strand. So in application skills, which I'm not covering in this presentation because of time, So I'm leaving, unfortunately, won't have time to go through that one. But in the application skills strand, at grade 1, you're working with Microsoft Paint, for example. Grade 2, Microsoft Paint again, and Word. And grade 3, you're working with those, as well as touching on Excel, starting to touch on Excel as well in the application skills. So the Microsoft Paint interface and the Scratch Junior interface are relatable, very relatable when you're working on those two strands. So grade 3 includes making your own sprite, dialogue, more triggers, and programming and algorithm and collaboration activities, which I think that's good to see that that was included in this. And so you'll find that in the, I think that's my timer. I'm running out of time. I'll be quick from here. So what I wanted to show you was how one of my learners took what they learned about mazes in Scratch Junior to the next level in Scratch. And it may not seem totally impressive, but it's actually a lot of fun to see, you know, that here with coding in Scratch, they went incorporating hitboxes and all sorts of other fancier type code. With that, and Kate is about a 8-year-old learner who's then moved over from Scratch Junior to that. Right. So lastly, on the robotics one on this whirlwind tour of these titles. So grade 1 includes robotics with fun projects and the intro to basic electronics, and we can see the connections to the algorithms and coding strand. Great, and here also directly from the book is videos. So we've got videos like this one.
You need a light bulb.
So inside the book are all these little short videos. Out of time, eh? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sad, but this is absolutely phenomenal. So finish up, last comments, and then Norm said you want to pop back on stage as well.
Okay, right, let me just finish off very quickly then. So we've got a whole arsenal of extra things that you can actually add on with it. So if you'd like to get in touch with me, I'd be very happy to take this further. It's very difficult to go through all of this in 15 minutes, as you know. So I'm going to pop up contact details very quickly and whiz past some of these. So there's my contact details and my colleagues from Cambridge University Press, Nomsa and Christina and Nadia, and I would like to say thanks very much for this opportunity to chat.
Brilliant, Alan. I think I just want to go to your classroom and play. There were so many things. It was just absolutely amazing to see. And Nomsa, just from your side, just seeing how your book is set up and how you've done it, it's just so practical, so interactive, and so easy. So just a well done. You know, we've often had Cambridge at our events, and it just reaffirms why we have you at our events when I look at the quality of that. So Nomsa, well done. I think you've developed something there that's brilliant. And Alan, thank you so much for actually just showing us what you do in your class and actually what is possible. So Nomsa, any final comments from you? Just so everyone knows, there is a poll that we have posted. If you would like Nomsa and her team to contact you just to share a bit more about this set of books, and how they can help you with coding and robotics, please tick yes. Her team will then be in contact with you, or if there's something else you want from them, you can also just tick yes and they'll be in contact. So Nomsa, any final comments from your side?
Yes, please. Thank you so much. We have workshops that we are running, and if you are interested in joining us with the workshop, please just indicate, and then we can get in touch with you, and we can have coding and robotics workshops with you, and Alan can do more practical things and assist you to start implementing coding and robotics in your schools. And number 2, if you buy our books, and you're buying about 150 books, grade 1 to 3, we give you a free kit for you to use in your coding and robotics. So we'd like to see you more, and please keep in touch with us.
Brilliant. I think that's absolutely amazing. I think if you're a school and you're looking at coding and robotics, I would recommend reaching out to get Alan to help you with that and get those resources and get the free kits with those books. So please click on the poll. Alan, Nomsa, well done once again. Just amazing seeing what you've done. So Nomsa, thank you for joining us on stage. Alan, thank you for sharing. I'm going to drop you off stage now, and I'm going to bring Lerato back on to close. and we can close down the presentations. And Lerato, if you want to join me. Cheers, Alan. Cheers, Norm. So thank you once again. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, that is us done. We do have one more prize to give away. So we have a 1,000 Rand Take a Lot voucher for the best comment of the day. Hopefully Lerato will be back on stage to help me decide on. Are you here? Brilliant. Just before
yes, I'm sorry, my video is just not coming on.
It's fine. People are just stuck looking at me. I'm sorry. While we get that sorted, we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. We have, for those joining in the morning session, we've got a Portuguese school speaking. We've got local school speaking, well, South African. And then in the afternoon session, we're going to be starting tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We've got Mr. T, who is from the UK, and he's going to be sharing on work smarter, not harder, which I think was an absolute brilliant topic. My colleagues in the office that are females have also said when he went on stage, I heard a lot of positive comments about him. So I think lots to look forward to. Sorry, I'm joking here, but I think he's got some great tips to share. And then we've also got some other incredible speaker teachers to share. And hopefully also we're going to be getting one of you to share. Lerato, any luck with your camera?
Not yet, but I'm smiling big smiles after that wonderful presentation from Alan, because you know what, guys, I'm obsessed with young ones that are doing coding and robotics. So Alan, thank you so much for sharing. I absolutely loved it. And now, Peter,
right, yes.
Oh, sorry,
give
guys.
us the comments.
Yes. So I've been on the chat reading comments, and there's a few that stood out for me. And I'm going to read out the top 3, then pick my favorite. Drum roll, because I know we all love freebies and we all love Take a Lot. So one of them from Megan was, hello, been waiting all month for this event. Thank you for putting it together to assist us. Megan, I can just imagine and I can relate, because I always look forward to these amazing Schoolscape sessions. So that one was my favorite because she's been waiting for a month. And then another one that stood out was Samiga, who said she's a newbie and she's been really talking about being a newbie in EdTech. And she thought, she says, I never actually thought about how important this topic was. And this is during Mohamed's talk. So she said, thank you for that. It was definitely an eye-opener. And then the last one, Elaine, during Karen's talk, was like, robotics and AI freak me out. But Nelson Mandela says, it always seems impossible until it is done. If you haven't used any of these tools, she said she's going to start, and she's really inspired. So, Peter,
all right. So
all
right, so Lerato, you're going to need to choose one of those. I think out of fairness, one of them has won a couple of prizes, I think, already. So Samiga won't be able to win another prize.
Yes, no,
so
Samiga has
to
won.
choose with the other two. So
no,
she's won already, so you have to select out of the other two.
Drum roll, and it's Miss Elaine Buerta.
Woohoo! Miss Elaine Buerta, congratulations. There we go. Elaine, well done. You've just won yourself a 1,000 Rand Take a Lot voucher sponsored by the team from SonicWall. So once again, not only does SonicWall keep your school cyber safe, but they love spoiling teachers and supporting education. So just another massive thank you for SonicWall. If you haven't filled in the poll for them to reach out to you, if you're looking for solutions, please do. So ladies and gentlemen, that is us done for the day. Lerato, we have survived. We have made it. We're really appreciative, Lerato, of you joining us on stage and helping make this just so relevant for teachers and EdTech implementers and IT managers. So we are going to sign out now, but I'm going to ask one last thing. What it sounded like is when we asked who should present tomorrow at late notice, we had quite a few people talking mentioning stuff around digital escape rooms using Google Forms. And our team was like, wow, that sounds incredible. And one of the people the person that recommended that was someone who's won a couple of prizes today already. And that is Samiga. So Samiga, we're going to reach out lastminute.com and see if you're available to do a 10-minute presentation for us tomorrow. So we will contact you. Otherwise, we'll reach out to someone else. But the rest of tomorrow is jam-packed. We've got some amazing teachers speakers sharing more of what happened today. So thank you for joining us today. From Lerato, myself, and the team at Schoolscape, we're out of here.